Hello everyone and welcome to Call It Crits, where we're going to be doing some adventuring today. I hope people appreciate the new artwork that I've actually put on the front of the stream here. I've drew that recently. I was inspired by Draugust, and while I was doing the Draugust, hashtag Draugust if you're not doing it, I was inspired to then continue drawing on this one. So hello SS Adventurer, lovely to see you. For those of you that don't know, this is probably actually going to be the Dungeon Master that I will be playing with in the game next Sunday, which is going to be fun. He's probably come to check me out, make sure I'm a legit person. Absolutely. So we're going to continue our adventure. We have one player down today, sadly. Jan could not join us today, or Andy could not join us today. So Jan will be stood in the corner with his hands in his hips and staring off into space, whilst everyone else has a jolly good time. I'm just going to turn down my music slightly because it's very loud in my ears. Don't know what it's like on the stream, but anyway. So last we left off. Hang on, what's going on in the chat? Something about something. Anyway, where last we left off, the party have been following Jan's quest to find, or to, in what Jan would say, actually he revealed in the previous session, he is looking to disprove the Stone of Illusionality, which is basically a fabled magical stone that allows the user to create illusion magic and make it real. He is looking to disprove this, to say that it is not real, which he revealed to you guys in the previous session. You guys have been following on that. You went to Westera to find the cartographer who has mapped out the area in which you are going to be looking at, and were subsequently attacked because you are now back into the kingdom. War is rife in quite a lot of places, and Westera is on the Vicious Whispers hit list. He sent a giant rock creature to destroy the tower that you were in. You managed to vanquish this one, however the Treants did not stop, so they carried on attacking the city. Westera was supposed to fall, according to the hand of the king. However, the noble of Westera, Kai Somerled, the cartographer you went to go see, does not want to let his town fall, so he's continuing the fight and has evacuated you guys, along with other civilians, through the south entrance away from all the fighting. He has asked if you guys could actually look into the fact that these big giant rock creatures that appear to be attacking are being born from the oases, which there are 12 of them north of Westera. And seeing as you're heading that way anyway, it's probably good to check in on and make sure that see if anything else is happening there. So that's kind of where we left off. From there, you were travelling out southwards of the city and found a safe place to set up camp as the stars came out. The starlight caravan became invisible, and you guys had were able to camp safely away from the town and away from the destruction. As you were camping, you came across a showering turtle by the name of Yip, who managed to have a nice sort of totally bodacious conversation with you guys. He gave Grinks a flute, which was kind of him. And some of the other revelations from the last session. Nyx, the raven that Grinks summons as his familiar, has been talking a little bit more in different voices that are familiar to Raljin, which is pretty strange. One was his uncle, and the other was his mother, which was how we actually ended the last session, where everyone fell asleep, Yip included, decided to fall asleep with you guys, and as Grinks fell asleep, Raljin heard the voice of his mother say something like, "You go to sleep now, I'll keep watch." And I think the haunting thing about that is Raljin has never heard his mother talk. Well, actually, you have heard your mother talk, but it was a long time ago, wasn't it? because she's lost her voice through battle scarring, I guess, an assassination attempt. So yeah, that's where we left off. As the nights, did you want to do anything? Because we kind of left off with you, Raljin. You just heard this, and I think you just sort of said like who the fuck are you, Grinks? Grinks didn't hear you. But is there anything else you wanted to do, or would you just be sort of taking that and going to sleep? Nyx, yeah, the raven, yes. She's currently perched upon a tree branch. Just. You can't hear Rob? OBS is not picking up Discord. Well, that's great. 1 second. That's no good. Thanks, SS. Right, why is that happening then? That's very strange. It's done this before, and it's really annoying when it does this. Let me just hit the settings. Technical stuff, I don't know. Stupid stuff.
Never work with children, technology, and kids. And children are the same thing. Animals, that's the third. Animals.
I mean, depending on who you ask, animals are also kids.
Well,
okay.
Yes, I agree.
I'm really hoping now you can hear the players. I've had to put desktop up. That's better. Okay. I don't know why it's not picking up on that one. Let me just double check this, because I am just going to do one little thing before we stop, because desktop audio picks up everything, including audio during breaks. Right, guys, could you just talk for me? That's not working.
Hello.
Try now.
Hello?
That should work.
Hello.
Pip, pip.
Yeah. Da-da-da.
Hello.
Yeah. I think I've got it working now. Can you guys hear it there? If you just double check for me, so I'm not continuing.
Yeah, it's all coming through all right.
Good, good, good. I can see that it's picking up the audio. I just needed someone to double check it. Thank you, SS Adventurer, for picking that up in the chat as well. It's always great when I have technical issues go on and people pick up on it. It's great to have someone in the chat. Thank you. Okay, so right, Raljin, where were we? What were you doing?
So, I look up at Nyx and I go, can you say that again?
Nyx just kind of turns and sort of looks over in your direction and kind of tilts her head and just says again, "I'll keep watch," and looks down towards Grinks.
I take a moment and I go to wake Grinks up, but then I decide against it, and I think, as much as I want to have this conversation now, it's better to be had in the morning, because if I wake him up, he's gonna be grump. So I go back inside the caravan, and I do my best to try and get at least a 4-hour meditation.
Okay. Okay. So, it's quite late, so it's around about 11ish at night. So everyone's probably knackered. So everyone falls asleep, and we'll cut to the morning, where Nyx has kept watch the whole night, and nothing eventful has happened, aside from the odd sort of like straggler leaving through the coming through the mountains and across the bridge, heading southward. The sun comes up. It's a bit of a chilly morning.
Before the sun comes up, before anyone else wakes up, Sal is going to go to the little pool and get washed before anyone else can wake up and join them.
Okay. Okay. So
and then return to the cart.
And what? Sorry.
And then return to the cart.
Okay. So you go and get yourself all washed up and then return to the cart, and shortly after that, everyone else begins to sort of rise. Grinks, you don't. You're quite a heavy sleeper. Actually,
Oh yes.
one thing you do notice, Sal, is when you wake up and you look on over to the bed, like the place where the turtle, Yip, was asleep. You notice he's not there anymore.
I would like to, on the way back from bathing, I will investigate.
Okay. You.
Oh my goodness, my character sheet.
We're
Sorry.
prepared.
Sometimes I've gone up to the thing and I've not even got my dice ready. It's I have this down.
Oh, I got my dice.
So I did my TikTok a dice a day thing today, and I rolled a 1 again. So I've gone down to a D12 again. And
I haven't been on TikTok recently. I've been trying to avoid it so I can get stuff done.
yeah,
Right.
it's terrible.
Well, this isn't going to be super successful. Okay, so investigation. Oh, that's a 10 total.
Okay. You notice that, I mean, you go and investigate the area where he was sleeping. He's taken his bedroll with him and his bag and everything like that. There's a slight dent in the floor from where he was asleep. It's a heavy set turtle. And you, from what you gather, he looks like he's been gone maybe an hour, if that.
Got a head start on us. Did he take anything?
That would be a separate investigation. Would you like to see if he's taken anything from your person?
Oh, I'd like to think he didn't know I was here, but who knows? I wasn't really paying attention to what he and Grinks were doing after I went to bed, so I don't know what there would be missing. So I think I will just go back to the caravan for now and mull this over.
Okay.
Once anyone wakes up in the caravan, the first thing I will say as I'm polishing my crossbow is, "The poison is gone."
The poison has gone.
Yes.
What poison?
The poisoner, the poison seller.
Poison cellar.
Well, you mean
Turtle man.
the hippie
Oh.
turtle?
Oh,
Yes.
him.
Yes.
Oh, I liked him.
Did you?
Yeah,
Why?
he was all right.
It's safe to say you're all awake now, and it's a bit of a chilly morning now, and the sun is sort of cresting over the mountains. You can sort of, you all start to rise. Nyx actually jumps down off the tree, sort of flies over towards Grinks, lands on his stomach, and then sort of turns around and sort of wafts her, I want to say in inverted commas, tail feathers in his face. It's more like a fluff of shadow because of what Nyx is, and you just sort of like to try and gently, rather than rudely, wake Grinks up.
I'm up.
Nyx then flies round and
something remotely edible for her.
you manage to pull something out and just like pull it up, and Nyx just kind of takes it and pecks it and flies up back onto a branch. 1 second, my dog wants letting out the room. Ugh.
I didn't know Yip had a dog.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so everyone's up, and you probably still got some of the salted meats, or some of the cooked meats left over from the previous evening that you can eat. Jan is going to be sort of like his nose in a book as he's sort of sitting. He's looking at maps that he's drawn of the area and looking at where he thinks we should where he thinks that you should go first. His inkling is to head to the first footstep, and he'll probably voice this to everyone else because it's on the it's sort of on the way, but it's at least along the track of what he's investigating. So he's probably what he's going to that's what he's going to insist upon.
Okay, sounds good. I'm just going to be stretching.
You probably notice Raljin giving you the side eye, Grinks, and you probably realise it's somewhat uncharacteristic of him.
I'm going to wander over to Ayla. Ayla?
Yeah?
I didn't do anything stupid last night, did I?
No, not that I recall. You were playing music, which was rather entertaining, and you're certainly better than that other character. Much more musical, melodical. No, not that I recall.
Oh, okay. So I'll just check my hat. I've noticed he's gone. I'm just going to do a quick check. So,
Yeah.
check, make sure my sword's still there.
Yeah.
My chain is still there. Bracelet.
Yep. I mean,
spellbook.
yep. You give me a quick investigation check on yourself.
Yeah.
If everyone, if
It's
everyone's
not
doing that, if
great.
you want to.
Yeah, I will, Phil, because basically, Ayla, I really like the character. However, if the Thornseller's got issues with the character, then that makes me think Sal,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Thornseller, knows what's good and what's bad.
Yes,
surely,
yes.
So,
If there's anything Sal knows, it's whether or not to trust people.
yes. So,
And the answer is always no.
that concerns me. So I will.
Okay. Well, if everyone that has suspicions, give me an investigation roll to check your person.
Investigation. I got 18 on dice, and +1 is 19.
Oh wow, nice.
Oh,
8.
what?
12. Bella, checking yourself over. There's nothing missing on your person at all. From what you can tell, Grinks, there's nothing missing on your person, and from what you can tell, Sal, there's nothing missing on your person either.
I'm just going to say to Sal, no, Sal, everything's here. I've got everything, and am I right in thinking I'm carrying the bag of holding?
I believe you are, yes.
Yes, I've checked that, and everything's still in the bag of holding, so...
The only way he'd be able to take anything out of the bag of holding is if he either emptied it or if he knew what was in there anyway.
Ah, right.
Because in order to get something out of the bag of holding, you have to think about it, put your hand in, and then you can take it. Or you can just dump it, turn it inside out and dump it out, and that would also empty it.
No,
but
I didn't actually know you could do that.
didn't you?
Just assumed things would be lost in there forever.
Some things do get lost in there forever.
My keys! Can't remember what my keys look like.
Just going to grab my spell book and sort my spells out for the day while I'm eating my breakfast, and I'll be sharing the cooked meats with Nix.
Okay.
While he's having his breakfast,
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to try something. I'm going to say to Grink. I'm going to direct the question at Nix to see if Nix picks up on it. And I'll say, who kept watch last night?
So Nix just turns ahead, just looks, doesn't say anything, but just kind of does that thing. Do you know where the bird kind of puts the wing up and kind of picks something out from under the wing and puts it down again?
Okay. Well, I suppose I owe you an honest approach after what happened back home in Ashenoak. I heard your bird speak last night.
He does that. She's very opinionated.
I'm
going to affectionately stroke her behind the ear. Or where her ear would be.
She spoke in my mother's voice.
She does that. She speaks in lots of voices. It's what she does. She mimics.
Wait,
In order to mimic, she would have had to have heard. And as I said to you before, my mother can't talk.
I'm going to try a deception roll here. So that's 14, 15 on dice. I'm just going to say, well, Familia's a psychic, or partly so. She could have just picked that from your brain.
Can I will leave it to DM's discretion,
Uh-huh.
but can I ask you to make a judgment on whether he should do it with disadvantage because of me already hearing my uncle's voice from the bird?
I'm not going to make him roll with disadvantage, but I am going to make you roll. This is going to be an Arcana check to see if this checks out.
Okay. Come on. I'll use my crit roll dice. Those are always good. Let me get a 1. Okay, not a 1. Not a 1. Not sure it'll be enough. I don't remember what you rolled. 17?
17. Okay.
Yeah.
From what you know of magic, you're pretty sure that's not how it works? You're pretty sure? You're not as trained in like Arcana as some people. That's nothing you've ever studied. But you're pretty sure that it doesn't work like that, But you could be mistaken, but you're not sure. But you're more on the lines of he's bullshitting me kind of scenario here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's not how it works, Grinks. But I could always double check with Yarn, and yeah, that's going to be the most passive-aggressive attempt at intimidation ever.
Okay, so roll intimidation then, if that's what you're trying to do.
Oh, thank you, dice. Thank you. Intimidation is under
It's charisma.
charisma. Well, I don't have intimidation, but that is still a dirty 20.
Okay. This is probably even though he sounds passively aggressive when he says this, it does sound like a threat.
Okay, I don't think Jan has a familiar or knows how they work.
I mean, he's got formal wizard training. I'm pretty sure he'd know how it works. Look, why are you lying to me?
Because it's none of your business.
It is
Stop
everything.
poking. I've hung over.
No. This is my family. That's my mother's voice, which I haven't heard since I was a child. You think I'm not entitled to explanations?
Kid, you're not entitled to anything. Look, just let sleeping dogs lie and let hungover drow wake up in peace.
Wake up in peace. Okay. Lynx.
Yeah.
Beans. And basically, she walks up to him, shows her paw pads, and then just starts making biscuits on him.
I'm going to have very fond memories of my childhood here. This is not a new experience for Grinks.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
However, you are hungover trying to sleep, and there is a cat waking you up.
With poop.
No, making biscuits. Paw pads. You can't see what I'm doing, but basically it's when they open and close their paws.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, biscuits.
Love it.
Anyway, is this in front of Sal, Jan, and myself?
Oh yeah, everyone else is. Yeah, everyone's around.
Oh yeah.
This conversation's
guys,
not
Sal's
private.
watching this and,
Guys, what's
eating
going
breakfast.
on? What is going on? Lynx is having a poo.
No, there's no poop.
No, she's not.
Halfway to making biscuits.
No.
I thought that's what it meant as well.
No.
Well, what does it? What's Link's doing?
So basically, it's when a cat will sort of push against the surface, opening and closing their paws, because it's like it's an instinct from kittenhood, trying to get milk out of the mother.
Oh, that's less weird. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to say anything then.
There
As
you
long
go.
as it's not doing a poop on him.
Why? Why did you think it was poop? Does no one?
Making
oh,
biscuits. Making
biscuits,
biscuits.
yeah. I knew
This
what that
from
meant.
the man
I
who
know the cat.
throws chamber pots about.
Guys, when you when
One novel.
Eli has had a sheltered existence. He's he never
Oh.
owned a cat. He never owned a
Oh,
cat, right?
that is a sad existence that you don't know what making biscuits means. That's
I thought making
poor
biscuits was going
deprived
for a
elf
poop.
child.
And this is
I
why
thought-
we don't. This is why we don't have more viewers, guys.
I thought making biscuits
The deep
was the
questions,
same
guys.
as I thought it was the same as dropping the kids off at the pool.
Oh my god.
Right, moving on.
Moving on.
I love it. I love it. Anyway,
I'm not making this up. I genuinely thought I'd have put money on that's what it was.
I would have done as well. I would have done
I
as well.
Okay, fair.
believe you.
Thanks,
Um,
Phil.
So Sal is just going to be watching this conversation and making eye contact with Grinks.
I'm just gonna shrug and just
Phil?
cast daggers at Nyx. She's getting me in trouble again. This is not new.
She does the
Phil?
same thing. She puts a beak under her wing and starts scratching. Yes, Ayla.
I sense that there's something not right in the party, but I'm not sure Ayla will.
Yeah.
Can I roll to see if the Ayla's got the emotional intelligence to pick up the dynamics right now
Oh,
and
You-
something's not right?
You can
I wanna tell
absolutely,
Ayla's
you
so
can
bad.
absolutely, you can absolutely roll an insight on the party at the moment.
Insight,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, come on, Himbo.
So insight is 16 minus 1 is 15.
Yeah, it's actually not bad. You can sense a little bit of tension, specifically going on between Grinks and Raljin, more from Raljin's side, because he tends to. This is probably one of the only times you've ever seen Raljin look really annoyed at someone for a reason that you can't really tell. You're not entirely
I
sure
mean,
on the reason.
If
I'm
there
just
was
gonna-
popcorn for breakfast, Sal would be eating it.
Now, are we talking actual popcorn or is that something else?
Oh
No.
my god.
Oh my! You know what? I was going to tell you what was going on, but I'm not doing it now.
There's popcorn chicken. That's nice.
Oh
Man, I want popcorn chicken now. No, but that's
Anyway.
not the point.
So
Anyway, I'm going to say, Lynx, Raljin, we are one party. We are a whole. What is the matter? I'm sensing there's trouble here. And if there's trouble with one or more of us, then there's trouble with us all. What's going on?
Grinks has a history with my family, which he's not sharing.
Okay. Well, this isn't a new scenario. Obviously, I had a history with
No. When I say
yourself,
history,
Raljin, and we managed to overcome that by talking. Yeah,
No, no.
but we
Well,
managed to overcome our differences by talking. So, shall we do the same here and try and see if we can resolve it?
well, that's the thing. Grinks doesn't seem to want to talk. And when I say history, I don't mean a couple of months. I mean, how long was you in the Feywild? 50, 60 years?
60
Grink?
years? You were for 60 years?
Yep. Yeah,
Bloody
hell.
that was fun.
So-
I'm easy, guys. We can either sort this out. You can do it privately amongst yourselves, or we can do it as a collective. Either way, I think it's important that before we move on as a group, a band of adventurers, I think we need to resolve this, because otherwise, if we go into combat together and we need to trust each other and we don't, then that could be very problematic.
Oh, I agree. I think we should have a lovely big talk.
Yes,
I can't
so
honestly
let's
tell.
start with
Come on,
why
some
you
more
was
popcorn.
with the mask.
hang on.
What?
So all right, well we'll just go to Grinks. What did you say there, Grinks?
Let's start with you, Sal. What's with the mask?
I
Hey.
don't know. What's with your aunt?
What is
His-
going on, people?
his-
What is?
sorry,
What's?
sorry, sorry. His aunt.
Yeah.
Who's his aunt?
Oh, well, you know. Someone he was trying to avoid in Ashen Oak. Caused a bit of a scene, didn't it, Grinks?
What?
Well, quite.
No. No. You're Gyron.
I'm just going to lean back and just let Lynx carry on doing whatever it is she's doing. Gyron has been dead for years.
I'm confused.
Makes sense.
You're
It tracks.
yeah. You're my cousin.
Ah,
I'm Grinks Astari, travelling performer. Nothing more.
so are you denying you're his cousin, Grinks?
I'm going to keep quiet on that one.
Right. I think it's time to roll for what is it? Perception or something?
If you're trying to, you're trying to distinguish whether he's holding something back. So,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to roll insight on that
Oh, I'd much rather roll perception, but yeah, go on then. It's a 19 minus 1 is 18.
one. Wow, you are rolling good
Yeah.
tonight.
Oh
You-
yeah, I'm holding shit back.
yeah, he is. He is being tight-lipped and he is sweating a little.
Right, Brinks, I like you. I consider you a valued member of the party, but I don't believe you're telling us everything here. And I think that if Raoul Jin is going to feel part of this party, you need to talk to him. Whether that's in front of us all or just you two, I'm fine either way. But I think you two need to have this out before we continue because otherwise I can see a rift forming in this party.
I'll try and heave Lynx off me.
Lynx
Yeah,
just kind of flops
yeah.
off and just kind of walks back over to Raljin's side and just kind of sits down.
I'm going for a shower. You can join me if you want, Raljin.
Okay. I kind of watch him go for a moment, unsure as what to do,
Well, follow
And-
him.
and
Ah,
then I'll
Okay, Raoul
I'll
Jin,
follow.
before you go,
Yeah.
look, this is your issue. And I completely respect your decision. Is there anything you'd like me to do?
No. No. This is. If he is who I think he is, then this is for me and him to decide. To
I
discuss.
thought- I
If
thought
he's
so.
not, if he's not who I think he is, and he has something else to hide, well, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Would
If
you
it-
like? Sorry, you go.
I was going to say, if it turns out that he's some sort of mimic, just shout and we'll come and kill him. But
Yeah,
I'm
I
pretty
was.
sure.
I was about.
I'm pretty
Oh.
sure he's just your cousin, and I don't actually know what the big deal is. So
Well,
Okay.
just before
Good luck.
anything else, I say the big deal is my cousin's supposed to be dead, and then I leave before anyone can question it.
Okay,
Mm.
Grinks, you walk sort of like, it's up the hill, just along that sort of like a little rocky path towards the waterfall, and you get there, and you can hear that sound of the rushing water coming down. It kind of blocks off any other sound that's kind of going. It's very loud in there. It sort of echoes through the cave. There's still quite a lot of bat droppings on the floor. A lot of fresh guano, actually. The bats are probably back up there in the darkness. In fact, you look up in your dark vision, you can actually see the ceiling moving slightly. and you do notice on the floor is actually the bar of soap that Yip had given you, or not given you, but had thrown to you before. It looks like he's just left it behind. It's just sitting there on the floor. And shortly, I mean, is there anything you're doing? Because Raljin's just taken a minute. Is there anything you're doing?
Just gonna start stripping off. I'll literally fold my coat, put my boots down, strip off. So literally, it's just my bracelet and chain that I'll be wearing because they never come off.
Okay. Tattoos and everything on show.
Yep, everything's on show, and I'll leave the hilt of my focus on top of where my coat is, within easy reach with Mage Hand.
Okay.
And
for our viewers, our show has just got X-rated with a naked Grinks.
I'll use Mage Hand to start soaping my back, and I'll just be enjoying the refreshing cold water.
Okay. Just as you get up there, Raljin, just as Grinks is stepping under the water, and you see Mage Hand come out and he starts to clean himself.
I kind of sigh, start to walk over, then realise my clothes will get super wet. So I start undressing, and I would... your hilt, your focus, is just on top of your coat.
Yeah.
Phil, would my passive perception of 16 notice anything unusual about that hilt?
I mean, if you just see the hilts, you notice that the perception is just to see things. If you want to do closer investigation, you'd have to do things like it has to be an investigation check or a history check or...
You'd notice it was like a red leather wrapped around for the grip, and it's Damascus steel for the crossguard and pommel.
Okay.
So that's kind of like a deep blue colour mixed with steel. It's, almost like waves.
Yeah, no, Oh, there's an engraving?
Yeah, across the hilt.
Okay.
What language is the engraving in, Grinks?
Undercommon.
Undercommon. Okay. If you're doing an investigation on that, reading doesn't require any roll, so you'll have noticed the engraving. So what does it say, Grinks?
Old wounds will heal with silver and steel.
Oh, I like it. Very nice.
Steel?
It kind of helps my suspicions. And I shower, and I say nothing until after we're done.
Just two naked dudes taking an awkward shower.
Raljin, I'm impressed. That's very good for you.
Yeah, I'm just like picturing it. There's like two people like showering. It's like almost like in the swimming baths, not trying to make any eye contact with each other. It's like
you're the one making it weird.
They're cousins.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're the one making it weird.
Oh dear. Anyway,
I don't think it's weird. I just think it's very sort of confident of Raljin to do that. That's very good.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
Also notice there's a bracelet on Grinks' wrist, and with a amber stone set in the top, and a necklace with a ring on it.
Okay.
Phil, whilst they're gone, can I just ask Sal a question?
Yeah.
Sal, what is going on? I'm so confused. What is this issue between Raljin and
Well,
Grinks?
I don't know the whole picture, but when we were in the Feywild, he gave Relan a book and talked about her giving it to his aunt, who was her mother, which I suppose makes him Raljin's cousin.
Yeah, so all this
I
is
don't
about...
see the big deal.
No, I don't.
But then I don't really have a family, so don't know what the big woo-ha is about that.
Right, no, I don't.
Oh, well, good.
I bump into new family members all the time.
Wait, what? Well, then you do have a family. That's
No, I do have a family, but I
Yeah.
discover that day by day. It's like
Oh.
I didn't think I had much of a family, but as it turns out, I have a far bigger family than I ever hoped to imagine. It turns out I'm actually related to lots of people. Um,
I think that's
I
an
hate to say it,
overstatement. To be honest, I've only given you 2 brothers that you didn't know about.
a stepfather, who's a nutter.
Oh.
Um,
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Dad
Well,
who's a dick.
Good point. Yeah,
a
yeah,
dad who's a dick, yeah. So, and
yeah.
I'm just about to say it. And Sal, they're not all. When I find these people, they're not always great.
oh. Well, no, most family aren't.
Uh,
My mother was a whore, so
oh, right,
yeah.
okay. Sorry to hear that.
No, it's fine.
My mum just died recently.
Oh. Oh, sorry to hear that.
No, it's just family, eh? It's just
Yeah.
not a lot you
Well,
can
like I
do.
said, I don't really know mine. I was basically uh, just, you know, didn't really do that.
Yeah.
So I don't really get it.
I
No,
don't see what the big deal is. But
well,
as
I
far as
don't.
I can see, everyone hates it, so.
Well, I did have a family, but I wasn't really brought up by them. So
No.
it was no. A long story, but I sort of like
Oh,
I'm
go on. We're going to be here a while.
well, I'm half elf, half human. The humans didn't really take to me, neither did the elves. So I sort of like um ended up being sort of brought up by undesirables, and that got me in trouble with the law to an extent. And then I was faced with blackmail by this Lord of Siren fella, who was buying everything up, including what Raljan's family are part owners of, that sort of industry.
Mhm.
And he sort of sent me on a quest to find out about Raljan's family. So I was on that mission. That got all found out by a turn of events. Me and Raljan have obviously made up, and I'm trying to get out of the grip of Lord Siren, out of his grasp, but he's incredibly powerful. So,
Wow.
and as I've been trying to get out of that situation, almost day by day, I'm meeting members of my estranged family. So, yeah, it's,
This is
complicated.
going to seem like a weird question, but does every single person in this party have a history of originally being someone sent to kill Raljan?
Wait,
Not
what?
everyone, no. We all had one thing in common, the original members. That is Dondon
Right, on.
Wisemore sent for us with an invitation. So we all congregated and
Yeah.
to find out what was going on. We all had deep-rooted history with London, and from there we went on various different missions and quests. And Ralgin, myself, and well, I think that's pretty much it now. Molrin, who's no longer with us, there was Garoth, and Korvax, and yeah, but me and Ralgin, I think, are the longest sort of existing members of this little soiree.
Oh, wow. It's fascinating. Um, so for breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as that, you guys are sort of just up in the waterfall, just finishing off showering.
I'll be scrubbing my hair a little bit more. I imagine it's kind of more of a very, very faded, washed out pink at the moment.
Yeah, the dye doesn't last very long, especially when you clean it. So it's very, it is very washed out now. See that the roots of your white hair is very quite prominent, and the rest of it is quite pink.
That tracks.
Yeah.
I'm just going to kind of
No.
glance in Raljin's direction and just say, "You've got until I put my boots on." I'll be honest for now.
I start by saying, you know, Aunt Alia still has your pictures up.
Sorry.
What?
Sorry, did you hear that?
What's
No,
that?
I didn't.
I said, my aunt, your mother, still has your pictures up.
Right? I'm just going to carry on scrubbing.
That's it. Just
The
she
captain
thinks
said
you're
so
dead.
something I have been contemplating a while
And
now.
it's
How would
best
people feel if
it
I
stays
streamed
that
the
way.
game?
It's safer for everybody concerned.
Why?
Oh, where to start? When you serve almost as long as you lived in your original house with the arch enemies of said house, there's issues. Honestly, kid, there is shit I have done that would turn your hair pink.
You think Aunt Ali is gonna care about that?
I care about that. I don't actually give a shit about what my mother thinks.
All your parents wanted was for you to come home. That she was so proud of you, you know that.
No. Hair and hair politics got my father and sister killed. I want nothing more to do with her and the family.
Well, you don't have to travel with us. I'm part of the family and I'm not apologizing for that.
Never asked you to, kid. Never asked you to. And besides, a debt's owed. I'm just going to carry on scrubbing.
You know. Well, considering this is a morning for bombshells, you know your dad's not dead.
I heard that. I'm not sure I buy that. I checked his body. Where
Well,
do you think I got this? And I'm just going to kind of take the ring and the chain off and just kind of toss it to Raljin.
I catch it and I
A
hold it.
sterling silver band, so silver and steel, with the engraving on it, and it's the sigil and seal of the weapons master of House Arateith.
You never replace this, you know.
I couldn't let them have it. I'll just hold my hand out.
I pass it back and I say, I see him all the time.
He died saving me and my sister.
Didn't die.
Yeah, I'm still dealing with that. I still need a few more bottles to work through that one. Next you'll tell me my sister's alive.
No, no, as far as we know, she didn't make it.
Well, it happens. I'm just gonna finish rinsing off. Do you want the soap?
Good, thanks. Why do you think your mother didn't care? Because, you know, she was, like I said, she was so proud of you.
She didn't want anything to do with us.
That was
If it
true.
hadn't have been for your mother, I'd have never have gone to school.
My mother put you forward for enrollment at the academy because Aunt Alia asked her to.
I'll just start tugging on trousers.
This is not something that can be talked over with breakfast and a shower, so I'll see you back with the others if you want to join us. And I finish redressing and I leave.
You're left in the just as Ralshin sort of like gathers all his things. Probably doesn't put on his entire armor. Probably puts probably put on the under things and probably put on the rest of the armor when you get back to the camp, as it takes a little bit while
Yep.
to don everything, or to doth. Hang on, put everything on. So you kind of hear him sort of pick up his things and sort of leaves at the cave, and you're left there for a moment with your thoughts, Grinks, as you hear the water rushing down.
As I'm getting dressed, I'll just use minor image and I'll just make a portrait of the family as it was before the fall and the attack.
It'll be an image that once hung above the fireplace in your home back in Krindak.
Yeah, it'll be one that I've made many times over the years.
You stare at that for a little while.
I'll then take out the bottle of red dye, I'll reapply it, rinse my hands, and then head back to the camp.
As you get back to the camp, I'm guessing that Jan will have been quite eager to go, and he's been packing his things and getting the horses ready, seeing as everyone else seems to be having conversations around him, and he's just sort of like, muttering to himself and sort of like getting the horses ready. You can see him sort of trying his best to do this. He's not really done it much before, but he's getting on with it. Ralshin, you come down and you see Jan sort of like getting things together. And Sal and Aylar look like they're sitting having a heart-to-heart at this point as you're walking down. The embers sort of like gone down on the fire, and the morning is sort of getting on, and the sun has come up in the sky now. It's quite a bright blue sky with dotted clouds just across the furthest horizon. What would you like to do?
Okay. Well, we'll return, as you say, to the caravan. Most of my things are already inside, so I'll just finish putting my armor on and then say, does anyone want me to drive?
I'm going to say to Ralshin, have we resolved our issues now, Ralshin? Are we one party again?
We can function. Aylar.
Okay.
That's as good as it's gonna get.
Okay.
As you say this, Grinks is just sort of coming
As long
down.
as we've got each other's back in combat.
Yeah, Grinks is sort of coming down the hill. You can see that his hair is once again bright red, and he's just you'll probably have most of your clothes on, as you don't wear heavy armor at all. It's just clothes, really, isn't it? Because being a spellcaster.
I'll make sure I cast mage armor, so that'll be my first casting of the day now we've got back.
Okay. He has a slight shimmer to him as he comes down. He does the somatic component, and a slight shimmer comes over his coat as he walks down the hill.
Welcome back, Grinks. Hope you and Ralshin managed to talk. Now, are we all ready to join as one and move on?
That's all I've been wanting since we left Ashenoak.
Excellent. Great stuff.
Okay. So, guys, we'll cut to the chase, and we'll get you guys on the road. So, from what you have been told by Kai, the best road for you to go, as there is still war or battles happening within Westera, the safest route for you to go now would be to head north and then head sort of like around to the footsteps. I'll put the map on the stream so that anyone who's watching can see. And if I can actually move it, that'd be great. There we go. So you are currently, I'm just going to pop on the marker, bada boom. Currently, come on marker, move, there we go. If I can grab it, that'll be great. There we go. No, not that. Stupid thing. There we go. So, for those of you watching the stream, the green marker represents where the party are, and you're going to be heading northwards around Westera and then heading west towards the first footprints, which is, if I can move the marker over there. For you guys, if you've got the DLC map, it's on Discord. You're heading towards the first footprint, but you're heading sort of like north and then west across the top of Westera, so you're avoiding any of the battles that are going on there. It's around about 4 or 5 hours journey. If you wanted to, you can do that. If you wanted to make haste, you can do it in about 3 hours. It's entirely up to you. But that does mean that you're not going steady. You're just you're doing it quickly.
I think we should take our time and be stealthy.
Okay, sounds wise.
Yeah.
Especially if those druids have flying things.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Yeah, fine with me.
I'm gonna get into the car and I'm gonna have my nose in my book, and I'm going to be finally copying down identify, because it's the first chance I've had to sit for an hour and do this.
Okay.
Oh.
So,
I'm going to interrupt him. Dyed your hair again.
Yeah, I have.
Why?
Because this is who I've been for a long time.
Are you proud of that?
I'm proud of being Grinx Astari. Nothing
Is
more.
Grinx Astari a Dracan?
He's somebody who really shafted over the Dracan. And has
Then why
enjoyed
you-
killing Dracan assassins for the past decade.
I still... You confuse me, Griggs. Why... At one moment I start thinking that you're... too much like them. I don't understand. I think it might be on me.
I've had this colour for the best part of a decade, and actually, when I think about it, probably 70 years.
Yeah,
This
so...
gonna change.
Did you leave... If you're... Did you leave at the same time as the drowning?
The night before, I was due to be the pièce de résistance, the greatest crowning sacrifice.
What?
Yeah, I ran. I was in prison.
But I don't understand that the sacrifice happened.
What?
Not with me. Don't know who
Then
else
who?
they got. I don't know. I was out of the city before shit went sideways. I heard
What?
it.
And why you? Why'd they pick you? No offense, but what's so special about you?
I was the son of one of the high priestesses of Elistray, a house that had betrayed Lolth. I was someone that the Dracan took in, fostered for 15 years. They thought it was a humorous ploy. Killis took great pleasure in telling me how they'd manipulated me for all of those years. Making me
Sounds
grow in
about right.
strength and power to be worthy of a sacrifice.
Interesting. So, who did they end? Oh my gosh, I really no. That wouldn't have done that. Oh god. So
You know,
you left and you went to the circus, and then where were you? Why were you in the Feywild for 60 years?
Well, there's a little bit more to it. So I left with a bunch of other people. There was a bit of a prison break. One of the prisoners was an elf, and we got to a deep gnome settlement. I was swiftly sent on my way, and I spent a year wandering in the Underdark and getting to the surface, being hunted. Found Malchus and joined the circus for 10 years. Funny thing about ending up in the Feywild, that Dick Vyloth, I kind of cheated him out of some money at cards. Didn't realise he was an archfey at the time. I went to sleep outside a small backwater town. Woke up with Ralgin's face in mine. It was interesting. Just outside of Wreath. So I've spent almost as long as I've been alive in the Feywild. Technically, I'm 106.
But you're actually just.
What?
56.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
That explains it. Wondered why you were a bit immature for your age, and I mean that nicely, I guess. Listen, your hair's your choice, but I still find it strange that you'd choose that colour.
It's something Malchus suggested. If you look like them, it might give them pause and not make them think you are them. Or you're
Wait, what?
hunting. I don't know, it made sense when he said it. If I look like them, they won't, they might not hunt me. Might not think I am them. Or who they're after.
I suppose. Well, I guess I would have said it had worked all this time, but for 60 years of it, you've been asleep.
Yeah. I mean, on the plus side, probably think I'm dead and have given up by now.
Yes. Well, let's hope so. I mean, I don't think anyone's looking for me, so there's no reason for them to be out here.
I'm going to insight that, and that was 18 on dice.
Oh.
And with my pluses, that would be 22.
I don't know what I roll to counter this.
It would be deception, I guess, because even though you are pretty sure that you're not being hunted due to the nature of you leaving and the fact that that they don't seem to be too bothered with you.
Yes.
You are pretty sure that if you were ever spotted, it wouldn't be good news.
That is true, I guess. Well, that's a massive fail then. I don't sound sure at all. I think I sound more like I'm trying to convince myself. I also just genuinely don't know. I think they might think I'm dead.
So, it doesn't matter any shit you've done in the past. That's...
It seems to matter to you.
No, what matters to me is what the family did to me. Their actions caused the death of my sister.
Wait, are we talking about your family or your quote-unquote family?
The Arateeths, they're meddling with Elestrae.
Whew. So you're more pissed at them than at the Drakans.
Oh,
wow.
I despise the Drakan and would kill them on sight. The Arateeth,
Same.
I can take or leave. Leave preferably. The kid gets a pass. He dragged me out the Feywild. I owe him something.
I don't mind the kid. I think he's good. He's fun. He's got potential.
Naive. He's gonna get himself killed.
Aren't we all?
Eventually. Preferably in a blaze of glory.
Well, seems as good a way as any following him.
Yeah.
Better ways to die.
Yeah. Kind of always thought it was going to be in a brothel with a vat of wine. But
That
with a
sounds
kid.
fun. Listen, before you carry on with your writing, I just have another thing to request of you.
Yes. I'll have just
Don't-
picked up my quilt and I'll put it down.
Don't ever ask about my mask again.
Fair enough.
Okay. And as there's a slightly awkward silence after that, and the threatening eyes of Sal gaze upon Grinks after that conversation, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a break, slightly later than what we normally do. And when we come back, we are going to when we come back, which is about 15 minutes, I'll have you arrive at your destination. So unless anyone else is absolutely desperate to get anything off their chest on this journey, we'll fast travel the next 4 hours around the north side of Westera, and we'll have you arrive at the Spring of Dreams, which is the first footstep of the gardener. And so 15 minutes, grab yourself TP, hopefully no K. And
The night's early.
Oh god.
Absolutely. Right, okay. So we'll go to break, and we'll see our one viewer, which is lovely to have, active in the chat room there, and everyone else very shortly. Okay, see you soon. Hello and welcome back to Call It Crits, where we're having fun. We've had a very RP beginning of the session, very roleplay heavy, where Grinks has been forced to explain a lot of stuff, and it's he's not been happy about it, and I don't think I think he's sort of being forced to unwind a little bit, unravel, a lot of his secrets. So, yeah, interesting. So, we're going to go straight back into it, and we're going to fast forward a few hours now. So, Grinks and Sal have just had their conversation in the back of the caravan, and then it's a very, probably, tense, quiet caravan journey for the next few hours, as you cross across this sort of like just sort of like plain land. I guess it's more likely sort of hills and valleys, and you can actually from one point, like so as you cross over certain parts, you can see in the distance Westera, and you can still see smoke sort of rising from certain parts of the town, and the tower which still stands.
Some music bleeding through there, Phil.
Yeah.
Is the what? Sorry.
The
Music's bleeding through. What have you got in the background?
All right. Okay. Is it not working properly?
No, it is. It's kind of making it hard to hear you because we're getting music, sort of like feedback of it.
Oh right. Okay. That's interesting. Anything now? Is that working now?
Yeah, that sounds better.
Okay. Interesting. Weird.
Thank you.
So, so it's an interesting journey as you sort of like go back around, and you travel almost like on a downward sort of like you start to make your way downhill. It's quite a noticeable decline in the environment, I guess, in the terrain, and you eventually sort of get to an area that's very canyon-like. Very rocky sort of outcrops, lots of trees, sort of like very foresty area. You'd feel very much at home, Raljin, and you get to a certain point where the trees trees thicken, and I'd like everyone. What's actually passive perception? Raljan, I think yours is 16.
16.
Anyone else got anything? Any passive perception of 16?
I think mine is also 16.
I've got 9, Phil.
That's not going to do anything for you.
Actually, I'm in the middle of casting Identify.
Have I noticed it's daytime yet?
You know it's daytime, yes. So you guys with the passive perception of 16, because of the individual stealth roll that I've just rolled, you know that you are being followed and that you are being watched.
The poisoner.
I slow
Go on.
the cart to a stop,
Okay.
and then I would like to do an active perception. See if I
Okay.
can find out who is following us and where they are.
Okay.
Can I do one as well, please?
You can. The biggest clues you've had so far is, first of all, that feeling that you're being watched. It's just there, and the fact that you've heard what sounds like jumping through trees, and it's more heavy set. So either it's a very big bird or something else.
Wait,
So-
it's a Muppet.
I believe he was from Sesame
25.
Street. Okay, apparently my Discord's gone quiet. That's very
Oh,
strange.
yeah.
I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything to the settings. It's really annoying when that happens.
Oh no. I got a 25.
I mean, if we're in forest area, I technically get. Is it advantage on? Oh no, it's not. It's on. Oh yeah, it's on wisdom checks.
Yes, it is on wisdom
Um,
checks.
I'll roll it anyway because I might get a nat 20, but I don't really need it. Oh, it's not a nat 20, but it is better. Perception is 26.
Okay.
Oh.
What did you roll, Sal?
25.
25 and 26.
Ah, ranger thing.
Ranger things.
You guys stop the caravan and you sort of turn and sort of get a good look around. Raljin, you take a look, and actually Sal, to be honest, both of your rolls are just as good as the other, within 1 point. And you clock about 4 figures in the trees. They are, one would be one on the left hand side of the road ahead of you, one on the right hand side of the road ahead of you, and one on the left hand side of the road behind you, and one on the right hand side of the road behind you. You can see that you can see parts of them within the trees, but they are very well hidden. One of them not so much. You can see a bow trained on you.
Okay.
Now, do we think these are the druids or the people who generally live in the area, like Yip said?
Okay.
From what you can kind of gather, actually, Sal, how much have you actually seen the druids whilst you've been?
Oh, I wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah, you wouldn't know the difference.
And
Raljin,
I just assume everything is out to get us anyway, so I've got my crossbow ready.
Raljin, one thing you do notice is the one thing that strikes you as the most strange is that the fact that if these are the druids, why haven't they fired yet?
Okay. I'll say I'll call out.
Okay.
Because Raljin is ever the optimist, and he's stupid enough to give away the fact that he spotted them. So, so I'll say, If this is supposed to be an ambush, it's not a very good one. I know you're there.
What are you doing?
As you
We had-
say,
We had an advantage on them.
as you say this, the one that is closest to you, in fact, the one that you're looking in the direction of, which I'm going to say is on the left-hand side of the road, north side, or ahead of the caravan, he puts his bow behind his back and jumps down from the trees, walks ahead, and addresses you back. Pardon?
Sorry, I was just laughing at the joke in the chat.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't think of that one.
Understand.
Oh God. Anyway, and he walks ahead and addresses you and says, "We're just here to make sure that you're just passing by. Can't be having strangers falling through the spring of dreams at this point, at this time.
What's
Just
your
making
name,
sure
friend?
that my name, it's Dionyso. And yours?
You can call me Ral.
Well, Ral, what brings you to the first footstep and to the Spring of Dreams, or at least to the area? Are you lost?
Academic exploits.
Haven't had anyone come who here for academia for quite some time. Well, if it is to write any sort of academia about the Spring of Dreams, then I'm afraid that you're out of luck. We are... Well, the town is evacuating, or the village is evacuating. We are, the Spring of Dreams is no more. Best be on your way.
What happened?
He looks at you and rolls a 19 on insight. Says, I'm going to need to ask you again why you are really here.
Well, we're really here for academic reasons, not me personally. One of my crew, one of my friends, there is something nearby that he's looking into. We are also. Before I answer that, let me ask you something, if I may.
Okay.
You wouldn't happen to have new arrivals in the form of druids, would you?
As you say this, you see him immediately perk up, and so I probably should have mentioned and done the description prior to having the conversation. But he pulls back his hood, and you notice his elven ears. You notice the elven features prior to this, but he kind of pulls back his hood. He has long brown hair, long elven ears, full elf. He looks up and says, now, why would you be asking questions about that?
Well, let's just say we've had a few run-ins with their leader in the past. I pull back my own hood and he sees I'm half drow, white hair, blue skin.
How
Since
many?
we're late-
How many of you are there?
You can forgive my hesitance to answer that since I don't know your intent towards us.
Very well. He snaps his fingers and does a little whistle, and you see the four or the other three, sort of like rangers, I guess. The other three elves jump down from the trees, and you notice three more emerge from the brush, or sort of like a lower level. They kind of step aside, not blocking your road, but just sort of like so that they're within visual range. I've shown all my cards. You want to show me yours?
I knock on the caravan. Guys, we've got company. I don't think weapons are needed.
Val is going to sort of peer out so that the fact that someone is there is clear, but that I didn't realise that Raljin had shown off that he was already a drow, so I'm trying to keep that a secret.
Okay, you're going to find it difficult, but I'm assuming
I
you
have
keep...
my hood up and my mask on.
Okay, okay.
I'm going to go out there immediately without hesitation.
As you do, immediately you notice the archers immediately bring up their bows and train them on you.
Whoa!
He's one of them? Okay.
Hey,
What's he
no.
doing? What's he doing with you?
Oh.
What is he doing with you?
Is this about the armor?
Yes.
Because the funny story behind that armor. we
But, as you're saying that, you just kind of turn to the archer and says, remain vigilant. Just keep your arrows trained on that one there.
I'm keeping a very open defensive posture, very passive, empty palms visible where you can see I am not carrying my weapon. Obviously, I've got my bow around me and I've got my sword sheath and my daggers and things handy, but they're not in my hands and I'm not reaching for them. I've got my palms on display, very passive, very non-aggressive.
we kind of, as I said, had a run-in with the druids in the past, and well, spoils of war and that.
He's going to incite you. Okay, that's also a 19.
Telling the truth.
Yeah, I know you are. He just walks forward towards you, Alar, and says, Melora doesn't just let anyone wear her armor. You must have been worthy of this to even maintain it. Otherwise, it would have left you a long time ago. He taps his finger on the chest.
A soldier, a warrior, a fighter needs armor. This is good armor that has served me well. This is. I've been for many fights, but we offer you no harm. We just want to move along.
The druids that came through our town, I want to say town, I say village, they were led by one who was wearing this armor. They came and they summoned something from the spring, which laid decimation to our homes.
Well, I can assure you that wasn't me.
Oh, it wasn't you. Just someone that wore the same vestiges as you.
Did the thing go towards
What were
the
they called?
town?
The creature that I'm speaking of, it headed towards the human settlement down that way. South of
Yeah,
here.
we killed it.
You did?
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, it was no problem. Yeah. No, none of us freaked out or anything.
You're saying that a ragtag band such as yourself managed to take down a giant like that?
Yeah. Pretty much.
What help did you have?
There was a wizard.
Yeah, he didn't
Trying to
die.
remember.
But,
Trying to remember how we.
mainly it was us. Mainly it was our wizard. And Grinks will notice that despite my current feelings towards him, Raljin still bigs him up and it's like, yeah, our wizard kind of teleported inside its chest and blew it up from the inside out.
It was really cool.
Yeah, I must admit it was impressive.
Kind of annoying, really.
I'm going to sneak up behind Sal. So for stealth, the
You are
18.
Okay.
While Sal's distracted.
Can I perception check this?
It would be, you're not specifically looking, so it'd be your 16 passive perception that would count on this. However, you're not being. Unfortunately, your stealth doesn't.
I want to jump scare Sal.
Okay, it only works on Sal. It wouldn't work on anyone else that's looking
fine.
at you.
Second Sal says it was annoying, I'll just say thanks. Literally in the ear. Quite loud.
I draw my dagger and I stab the thing that's coming up behind me.
I saw that
You
coming.
see, this is exactly what I was talking
the doorway. I was coming out from inside. Inside.
Roll me an attack roll.
Oh,
You see,
you're probably fine. It's only a 21.
It's only a 21? That's definitely going to hit. Roll damage.
Shield. No,
dear
shield.
me.
I'm going to shield that.
I'm just using my little dagger.
It's fine. I shielded it, so it doesn't.
Just 4 points of damage because I notice it's you and I kind of try and stop. It's too late at that point.
You see, this is what I was concerned about.
Oh, Farron's teeth.
You notice that Dionyso's face kind of puzzles up. It looks really puzzled at this particular action. It says,
oh, well,
so do I.
We're just about inside the car, right?
Yeah, I was kind of hoping it would get Sal out so I could get out.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, anyway, I've shielded it, so there's no damage. It's just like
good.
Okay.
I would say that I was sorry, but what the hell?
Little twitchy.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna just step out.
I'm always twitchy.
Okay, so anyway, we're a group of adventurers. We've my name is Raljin Whitewood. This is Ayla, Sal, Grinks, and the quiet one in the corner over there is Jan.
Jan just nods.
God, he's cool. So silent.
Jan, you've been incredibly quiet this week. Are you okay?
He nods.
Good man, Jan.
Laryngitis again.
He's the strong, silent type.
His cloak billows slightly.
Oh my goodness. What an elf. What an elf.
What an elf. Yeah. So we've actually met their leader before. We nearly managed to stop him before all this started, but he got away.
Are you talking about the leader that dresses like this one? Or are you talking about the one that calls himself the Vicious Whisper?
Yeah, the Vicious Whisper, better known to us as Harrion.
He turned up a few days ago, claiming to be our king or leader or something to that effect. Told us that we owed him his allegiance. I owe that man nothing. He's earned nothing. This is why I prefer the way they do things in the kingdom. This is why our true leader, our chief, this is why he prefers to stay within the kingdom. Their laws, their rules, they suit us. They suit us because their leaders earn the right to lead. They don't just inherit it. This man, this self-proclaimed leader, decides to wander into our village and says that he's taking what's his, the power that's his, in order to lay waste to the kingdom that we do swear our allegiance to. Well, this just won't do. Now, what exactly is your final destination on your journey, friends?
Well, our final destination, I gesture towards the mountains, and then I say, but on the way, if we can strike a blow to Harrian's vendetta, then we're all for it.
If you're heading towards the mountains, then you have actually, as you proclaim, to have already killed one of these things. Then you are free to take a rest stop in what is left of the Spring of Dreams. If you are heading north, that's where he said he was heading. Not the vicious whisper, he turned up briefly and then left. The one that dresses like your friend here, he didn't say his name, but seemed like he was his left-hand man or something.
Human, orc, elf?
Goliath, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, big guy. Covered in tattoos. Scary fella. If you want to pass through, you're more than welcome to, but just so you know, we are negative on supplies. So don't be thinking you'll be able to do any shopping with us or anything like that. The only thing that we've got is water, and even then, it's not as much as we had before.
That's quite all right. We can make our way. We can we can pay our way as well.
It won't be necessary, but thank you for the sentiment. Okay, tell those dire horses of yours to, head this way. In fact, he placed his hand on the dire horse, says something in Sylvan, and the dire horse both of them kind of look up and suddenly start moving forwards. Right, your caravan begins to move forwards, and after about, I'm assuming everyone else sort of like jumps on the back as it starts moving because we don't wait for you to get on, and you are sort of followed by these elves quite closely.
I'm going to be giving Sal the side eye and making sure there's at least 6 foot between us, as much space as I can.
Look, I said I was sorry.
You begin to arrive. You are still making a decline. The whole of this journey is a downward hill that kind of goes around, almost like you're going around the circumference of something. And it takes longer than you think it should. But that's because it's spiraling around something and going around into the central point of something. And eventually, as you get to your destination, which is the bottom of this, what essentially is a footprint, to the bottom of this canyon made by a walking mountain, you notice a destructive pathway. There is a woodland which has a path drudged through it, collapsed trees, and broken down like broken rocks, and the part of the roadway has actually been laid to waste and actually rebuilt so that people can cross over it, because whatever made this pathway, and you know exactly what made this pathway, it climbed out of this canyon and it just left destruction in its wake. I do actually have a map, so I am going to make that visible on the stream so that people can see that of where you are, and I'm going to put it in the maps on the Discord channel so that you guys can see it. There we go. Hang on, press enter and then you can see it. So there we go. So what you can see here, so you guys come in through the south entrance, which is where just to the right of where all the path of destruction is. Ahead of you is the oasis. It has actually overflown and flooded. The banks have broken, and a lot of the houses or the huts that have been built around there have been just waterlogged and flooded and wasted. you notice that as they take you through, Dionyso says, you're going to have to leave your caravan here because, unfortunately, the bridge has sustained some damage recently and would not be able to take the weight. So if you're okay leaving it here, then we can find it a way. We can find a way to get it across. I can maybe get some of the boats that we have left to get it across the ravine, across the oasis. And then you can have it up on the north side if that's the direction that you're heading.
I mean, it's a family heirloom, so you take good care of her.
Oh, we will. We'll take absolutely good care of it. The horses too. With that, you sort of like lead the Starlight Caravan where it is, and he takes you across the bridge into one of the first part of the village, which, as you're walking through, Yarn, especially if Andy were here, he'd roleplay it this way, especially, is disgusted at the fact that he has to walk in a muddy area. The ground is completely waterlogged, and the mud is sort of like just squelching. What they've done is they've actually cut down trees and laid them down to make like a makeshift pathway for you to walk on. But even then, a lot of the logs have sunken down, and you kind of find yourself hopping from log to log. And that's exactly what Jan will do. He's going to try and avoid the mud as much as possible.
Just a couple of things. Before we hit town, I would have put my hood back up.
Okay.
To try and avoid too much disruption.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the second thing is, surprisingly, Raljan is fine with the mud. He's stomping in it.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. No, it's... Right, there are two places Raljan is comfortable. One is in high society, and the other is in the forest. Anything other than that, he is out of his element.
Dal is looks quite sad at the flooding and sort of stops to look at some of the damage of the flooding.
Okay. You notice that there's some huts and things. Some that have been irreparably damaged and have actually crumbled down, and under the weight, sort of their weight have sunk down into the mud. And some of them are just there's people still living in them, elves still living in them, despite the fact that they are just in a disrepair. But you notice that there's a lot of carried like carts that are being filled with stuff, and people are beginning to sort of like move their things out, because at the moment this part of the town especially is destroyed, and they're never going to get sort of like never going to get it back, not for a long time anyway. And a lot of them are moving away because of what did this, and they don't want to be sort of like caught up in it.
How deep is the water?
Where you're walking, not very. It's
I can see the bottom.
Yes, you can see the bottom of the bit that you're walking in. The actual oasis itself, it's quite large. I'm trying to think about how far away it would be across. Hang on. We've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 100, about 150 feet across-ish.
I'll be taking the path that takes me the furthest away from the actual.
I mean, you're walking around it anyway. The body of water is rather large across, and it's very deep. But you can't see how deep it is from where you are. It's just like
it's
water.
Deep enough. I don't do water at the best of times.
Yeah,
Water, I
You
drown.
have had a million naked showers.
Oh, that's fine. Running water in like that is no issues. When I'm with water that can drown me, that there's an issue.
Yeah.
Large bodies of water. While we're getting into the town, I'm going to cast Detect Magic. It lasts 10 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm going to be looking for magical items on people, but also seeing if there's any kind of remnants or any kind of presence of magic within kind of 30 feet of me. It's in the Discord channel if you want to have a look at the exact wording.
Okay, what's the spell again, sorry?
Detect Magic.
Just Detect Magic. Okay.
Yeah, so I cast it at will with Drowhigh Magic, so There's
And
no issue there.
It's just within 30 feet of you.
Within 30 feet, so I'm going to be looking to see if there's anything kind of pillars or stones that could have maybe summoned one of these.
No, nothing from where you are at the
creatures.
moment. There's no pings going off at the moment.
And likewise with the people, I'll be keeping an eye on anything they've got that could be magical and a weapon that could be used against us.
Okay. No, nothing magical there.
Okay.
Okay. He as just one other thing before you enter the town. Dionyso turns to you, Ayla, and just says, "Probably best that you throw this one on." And he throws you a cloak. Just as we
Okay.
go through town, I don't want
Yeah.
I don't want any of the anyone to be spooked by the things, well, by what's happening.
Thank you.
And then
I wear it immediately. Thank you.
okay, okay. So he takes you through the town. As I say, you go past this heavily heavily destroyed part of town or part of the village. And you get across to sort of at the north side of the village where it's not as destroyed. The water is still sort of like flooded over and sort of like, you know, obviously burst its banks. But there's it's not as bad as the south part of the village. He leads you up towards a larger building, larger than the others, with a sort of like a bark skin roof. And there's a chimney out the top where the smoke pluming out, and you notice there's actually some of the villagers who are actually maintaining this building. So you notice that a part of it where it's been water damaged, there's been it's been dug out, so the water is no longer hitting the building, and it's being protected. Ayla, give me Give me a perception check, Ayla.
Excellent. I get advantage on those.
You get advantage on something that you have like really awful stats in. It's great.
Ooh, still bad. So perception with a -1. That's a 12, even with advantage.
It's enough.
I rolled a 4 and a 13.
As you're walking through, you notice on the ground just next to the building there is a religious symbol that you are familiar with. It's the religious symbol of Melora. It's been taken down off the building and placed next to it. For what reason, you don't know. You are then walked further through, and you actually walk towards this building, and Dionyso just says, "If you just wait here, I'm going to go and speak to Chief Patan and Batran and let him know of your arrival and see what he thinks of these particular circumstances." And he heads on into the building. Is there anything you guys want to do while you're waiting?
Yeah. Do I find this suspicious, the way that's happened?
You can give me an insight roll.
Oh dear.
I love how you want to know all these things. Like, I want to know how they're feeling.
It's
I
8
want...
-1 is 7.
No, you don't find it suspicious at all. No.
Oh no.
Oh, Ayla.
No. It doesn't feel like there's anything suspicious about this at all.
Oh no.
A few minutes later, he comes back out and says, "Chief Batran will see you. If you want to follow me through. He's very curious as to your presence here. Academia or fighting giants or whatever it is you're doing. He wants to know about it. If you'd like to head on through."
While we're moving in, can I keep an eye on any of the rangers that were behind us? I want to make sure that we're not being encircled.
I mean, you were followed as you were going in, but as you enter the building, which was once a village temple to Melora, or probably still is. You never know. It's the symbol's just on the floor. As you walk in, only one follows you in, and that's Dionyso.
Okay. And is anything pinging detect magic at this point, like holy symbols, anything like that? Anything that's magical that we've gone within 30 feet of?
As you enter the building, there is, yes. So as you enter the building, and you are presented to Chief Batron, and I'll just describe him to you. He's an elven man. He stands quite prim and proper. He's actually quite heavy set for an elf, quite bulky arms. But what probably makes him look more heavy set is the fact that he's wearing quite a large sort of like feathered cape that kind of goes around and down his back, and his very ornately decorated armor that he wears, chest plates, belts, heavy looking sort of like shin pads and boots, which have green gems, sort of like greens and blue gems, which sort of like decorate the outsides of it around the around the edges. He has a headdress which comes up and sort of like goes right back and sort of like falls down and almost meets the cape with colour and design. The ping that you're getting is around his neck. He wears a necklace which almost looks it's sort of like gold and almost Aztec in design, with a skull in the middle, and that's the ping that you're getting.
And what school of magic is it?
Oh, let me just because that's
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. School of magic for this specific spell
Our
is
sponsor today is we don't have one.
is divination. Oh no, hang on. Might be right, but might be wrong. Hang on, that was the wrong spell that I looked at. It'll probably end up being divination as well, but gotta get it right. Why can't I find it? God, it's like a dictionary. It's in. There we are. It is divination. Yeah, it's divination magic.
Okay.
Okay. Right. As you approach, Chief Batron, so just says to Dionyso in Elvish, he says, "Thank you. Just wait outside the door." In Elvish. So anyone that speaks Elvish understands that. Anyone that doesn't speak Elvish, you just hear him say something to Dionyso, and Dionyso sort of like bows his head and leaves. Right. Okay. He stands up, or stands taller from where he is, and steps down. He's sort of like on a podium, but he steps down. Says, "So, what brings you to the Spring of Dreams in this particularly harrowing time? It is curious that your arrival comes at the same time as the destruction that has happened to us recently. I need to know everything. I do not want you to spare any details. And then I will judge whether you are to pass on to the Iris Oasis, or whether to imprison you here. Who will I address as your leader?"
I'm just going to step up behind Raljin and just kind of playfully shoulder check him to force him to step forward one pace.
Yeah, I think it should be Raljin.
Yeah. Sal was gonna look straight at Raljin anyway.
Rajan stumbles forward and then kind of looks back. I look back at the others, doing a kind of what the hell are you doing, kind of thing.
I'm just going to give him the biggest shit-eating grin.
I
Well,
assumed it was you.
Well, you don't want it to be the least of the wise of the party, do you? This is not
mean,
a
come
time for.
Okay.
So, the half-drow. You are the leader of this band of adventurers.
I pull back my hood again. I guess so. Well, our story goes back a few months. When we first encountered the one who lay waste to your village.
And
You know him as the Vicious Whisper. His name is Harrion.
I know him as Interloper. I know him as Destroyer of Homes. I know him as no leader. Not what he claims to be.
No, very true. He gained his position from the death of his mother and has been using his power to lash out
Pa!
the kingdom.
These things I know.
You said you wanted every detail.
And tell me the details I do not know. Tell me why you are here. Tell me what is your stake in this game.
Well, he threatens the kingdom. Many of us are from the kingdom.
He looks around at everyone in your party. And says, I count 2, maybe 3 of you who most likely hail from the kingdom.
I'm not born in the kingdom, Your Highness. I chose it, much like your people. And I'm going to offer a deep bow, and I'll just introduce myself. It's Grinx Astari. I'm from Malchus's marvelous menagerie. I don't think we made it this far.
This means nothing to me. I know that the drow of Nelun sometimes venture into the kingdom, but they are not one of the drow cities that exist within the kingdom. There are none left.
No.
Only the Commonwealth.
That's right. Now, my God, I hate doing this. You may be more familiar with an adventuring party of old, the Wandering Wolves.
I'm going to have to do a history check on him. Okay. I have heard this name in passing.
They are two of their member are my parents. They were heroes, and they did good. And while I can't speak for some, that's all I want to do.
Tell me. And he doesn't address you, Ralgin. He addresses everyone else in the party. Tell me. Why do you call this one your leader? Did he earn it? Or was he just born into it?
He certainly has been born into a position of privilege that cannot be denied. However, in this party, I would say he does deserve to be leader because he thinks before he speaks, he rationalizes things well, and he is wiser than many of us here.
What he said.
Sounds
Okay.
like if you had been born in the kingdom, you would have been taking the trial.
Well, I don't really think that's for me.
You have passed I see honesty in your hearts. I see good intentions. So we will help you. We will help you on your way.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Tell me, although the Spring of Dreams is slowly fading, what would you have us do for you that can help you on your way to hopefully completing your mission and maybe doing a little good on the way?
Well, you are in need of aid. I don't think there's. I mean, no disrespect, but I'd rather you take what resources you have to rebuild. I can't speak for the others. If they may need something from you that I can't think of, but for me, if you want to do something for me, focus your efforts on rebuilding.
Unfortunately, we cannot. Since that giant creature emerged from the spring, other things have been following it. It is like there is something opened up down there, and it is leaking abominations from another realm. We have tried all we can to stop it, but unfortunately, we have decided to take most of our efforts into leaving and guarding those who are the final ones to go. We have decided that we did decide we are going to head north, but then we were also told that that is where this vicious whisper, this one that calls himself the leader, the king, that is where he has decided to set his sights to next. Probably
You
to
say-
awake another one of these things.
You say abominations are spewing from. I'm going to just kind of gesture behind me. Has anybody gone down there to see if it can be plugged up?
We tried. Well, we sent a couple of our best fighters down there to investigate, and only one returned. He said there was some sort of portal. It was oozing green lights out into the water, and something with very sharp claws. And
Can I do an Arcana check on this, just to see if it's ringing any bells, or if I can hazard a guess at what it is?
you can certainly try.
Alright.
Hmm.
That's 18 on dice. I do have 2 pips in Arcana, so that is 4 plus intelligence. 27. It's my thing.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
You'll have done reading on this. The portal, from the very brief description that is given to you, sounds specifically like a portal that cuts between planes. So, for example, from what you'll know of the planes, there's the elemental planes, there's the Feywild and the Shadowfell. This one doesn't sound like it opens up anywhere into the Feywild or the Shadowfell. More likely one of the elemental planes, probably elemental plane of water, judging by its location.
Okay, and would I know how one would stop that portal or close the portal with that roll of 27?
Yes, you would know how to do that. It's magic that is currently out of your skill sets. If you knew plane of travel, you could probably do it very easily. You'd probably have to settle for. You'd probably have to see if you can study up on it first. Maybe see if you can talk to someone within the village that might know. But they've only just found out about this, so they haven't studied on how to close it yet either.
I'm just going to look at Raoul Jin. Maybe we can do some good here.
I will say the one thing that you do know, and this will probably send chills down Grinx's spine. One thing you do know is that in order to close a portal, you have to be within 10 feet of it.
Eee.
I mean, sounds like it could be a portal to one of the elemental planes. I mean, do you have a library around here or anything like that? Maybe we can help?
You wish to help us?
I'm just going to look at Rao Shin.
It's what we do.
We do not have a library as such. Most of our knowledge we choose to keep with a learned scholar who is in town, Jario. If you speak to Jario, he's already started studying up on this and has been preparing something, but to be honest, I told him that it was a futile attempt and leaving was our best bet. But if you are what you say you are, and you were able to take down the giants that emerged from here and lay waste to our village, and you are willing to help with this, then who am I to say no? I accept. If you speak with Jario, and we will start making preparations to try and close whatever this thing is that is spilling out these abominations.
And as he says that, I'm going to wince and just kind of almost curl back into myself.
Thank you. What do we call you?
Grinks Astari, and I'm going to bow, and it's just, why do I talk? Why do I always open my mouth? Keep quiet, Grinks. Just shut up. I'm just going to be muttering, and I'm going to kind of pull myself to the back of the group and just stand behind Raljin, muttering.
He steps down a little bit further and actually towards Raljin, just as Grinks backs off, and says, I know that the history between Elf and Drow have been tumultuous, but actions such as these, they fill me with faith for the future. Thank you,
Of course.
Raljin, and your friends. This has certainly been a strange week. Tell me, you have a collective name?
Yes.
We were known as the Slaughtered Goths, but I prefer the Silver Wolves.
In which case, that is what we will choose to pair you with, Silver Wolves, for it is all we have. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session, dead on 10 o'clock.
Oh, what does he mean, pay with?
Silver.
Pay you with.
Oh, pay. I thought he said pay you with.
Gonna pay you with silver. Right.
that's all right.
Okay. So I know it was a nice roleplay session, but I'm guaranteeing in the next session, if this is what you're going to choose to do, I'll probably have to be building some battle maps, which will be fun. Thank you for to the captain for watching, and if you're still there, and thank you for a great session tonight. I'm looking forward to the next session. And the fun that's going to be had the next session, where Grinks is going to have to face the fact that he's going to have to go underwater.
Send a bloody memo.
Oh boy.
You got that sinking feeling?
Oh boy.
Boy. Shall we call the next session the Drowned Drow?
Ah!
No, because if that happens, you're going to feel so guilty.
Yes, I will. Okay, so for now, it's time for us to call it crits. But we're obviously not here next week. That's really sad. Because next week I'm on holiday and Simon is on holiday. We won't be here next week, but we will be here the week after. Fingers crossed. Thank you very much for watching, Captain, and thank you very much to you guys for playing. It's time for us to call it crits. So, working on a teaching RP set. Ooh, sweet. See, I've been doing that. We'll have to talk more about that later. Right, okay. See you later, guys. Thank you, and bye.
Bye.
Bye.